All right, let's take a look at problem 2 from week 8. And so, heat exchanger. So this is a relatively simple case, but it'll show you how to set up a heat exchanger with steam or cooling water and will allow you to estimate the purchase price. We have a feed stream of 100 kilomoles per hour of benzene at 298 Kelvin and 1 bar that needs to be heated to 350 Kelvin prior to being sent to a reactor. It'll be heated in a heat exchanger using a stream of 100 kilomoles per hour of saturated steam at 1 bar. Due to the piping, there is a pressure drop on both the benzene and steam product lines of 0.08 bar. Set up and run the simulation, right, and then some questions based on it. Right, and we'll include trying to get a purchase and install cost. So, all right, so I'm going to go over to CHEMCAD. I closed out of my last sheet, and I'm going to start up fresh. And so, first, in terms of engineering units, I'm going to flip over to common SI, right? Kilomoles per hour, Kelvin and bar. So mole mass, I'm just going to change it to kilomoles. Temperature in Kelvin and pressure in bar. Okay, looks good. In terms of components, okay, first primary component is benzene. Okay, and then water, right, in the form of steam that we're going to use to as our heat source. Alright, so we're not actually going to mix the two components. I'm going to have a separate stream of water and a separate stream of benzene. Right, in terms of the selected K model, the excess Gibbs free energy model, how I'm modeling the phase equilibrium of that mixture isn't such a big deal. Then enthalpy will be computed using this latent heat model. Okay, cool. Alright, so I am going to draw in my heat exchanger. Okay, let me zoom in. Okay. So in terms of my heat exchanger, remember I've got 2 inlets and 2 outlets. Okay, so this one's going to be, I'm going to make benzene going in. Okay, and then it's the dot across from it which corresponds to the corresponding outlet. All right, so I'm going to have benzene going in here and coming out there. Right, it's the dot that's across. Okay, so the idea is you could think of this as, cross flow or counter current flow setup. All right, so I'm going to have a feed. So that's going to be benzene in. This will be benzene out. All right, and let me even just start with benzene. Okay, so this is benzene in. So it was at 298 Kelvin and 1 bars. Okay, and it's not going to make a difference, but I'm going to say that it's 1 mole frac. And then was it 100 kilomoles per hour? 100 kilomoles per hour. Okay, cool. So there's my benzene stream. And then, one way I can use my heat exchanger is I could just specify, yep, there's going to be a pressure drop of 0.08 bars is what we're told. But then I could just specify the exit temperature of benzene, which we're going to take to be 350 Kelvin. Okay, which we're told we need to heat it up to 350 Kelvin. Oh, so let me stretch this out here so we can get that benzene label. Okay, so if I do that and I run all, okay, so my heat exchanger runs. So stream 2 is now benzene at 350 Kelvin, right? And I have a slight drop in my pressure, and it's still liquid. Okay, so we're still below the boiling point of benzene, right? So it's still liquid benzene. Now, if I look at my heat exchanger, okay, cool. All right, we had specified the target exit temperature of benzene, and then it calculates the heat duty. So this is the heat that would need to be added to my system to increase the temperature of benzene from 298 Kelvin to 350 Kelvin, right? Well, my 100 kilomoles per hour of benzene, right, from 298 to 350, right? So it's, so here's my calculated heat duty. Now, when it comes to heat duty, it's, well, where's that heat coming from, right? So typically, I'm going to use the utility. So if I'm trying to add heat, right, it's typically going to be steam. Well, depending on the temperature range, and if I'm trying to decrease the temperature, right, it's typically cooling water, right? So I'm typically using water. It's easy to move water throughout my plant. It's inexpensive, and so yeah, life is good. And so what we're going to try and do is, rather than just have, say, this calculated duty, is play around with using water as our utility, or steam in this case. And so I'm going to feed in steam. So what I need to set up then is just also entering my heat exchanger stream 3. This is going to be pure water. This is going to be my steam. Okay, so I'm just going to specify it's pure steam. And then let's go look at the conditions. So we are told that we have saturated steam at 1 bar. Okay, so it's at a pressure of 1 bar. Okay, now it's saturated steam. So how do we get that temperature? Well, what I do is I've already specified it's pure water. Okay, so I'm going to specify that it has a vapor fraction of 1 at a pressure of 1 bar. So then I flash it, it gives me the corresponding saturation temperature. So at 1 bar, the saturation temperature of water is 372.757. Okay, so that's saturated steam, or saturated vapor phase of steam. And are we given the flow rate? So 100 kilomoles per hour of saturated steam. Okay, cool. All right, so now if I go back to my specifications, right, we still just have one specification, and we're still just going to specify the exit temperature of stream 2. Now you'll notice, right, our whole calculating the required heat duty of my heat exchanger is gone, because what's going to happen now is it's going to it's going to get that heat from a temperature change in my steam, right? So my steam is going to decrease in temperature. The heat removed from that steam is going to go to my benzene stream. Okay. Now up top under pressure drop, there's not just one box, there's 2 now, and we are told that there's a pressure drop of 0.08 bars right on both lines. Okay, cool. Right, and so utility off, right, we could play around with controlling flow rates, but we're not going to touch that for now. Okay. Cool. So if I run this, okay, simulation converges. So this is still, now I'm heated up to 350 Kelvin. Okay, if I were to peak here, right, there isn't a calculated duty. And if I were to look at stream 4, right, what I find is my steam, right, that entered, my saturated steam. Okay, actually, let me go up here. This is my saturated steam at 372.757. Okay, 100 kilomoles per hour. All right, it's coming out. Right, and the temperature is 370.442. Right, so it hasn't changed much. And what's coming out is a 2-phase mixture. Right, and I always find this interesting. So my flow rate of benzene and steam was the same. Right, both were 100 kilomoles per hour. Okay. Benzene, my liquid, is increasing in temperature from 298 to 350, so it's increasing by 52 Kelvin. Okay, but the temperature of my steam is only decreasing by about 2 Kelvin. Okay, and what's going on is, well, one, I do have a pressure drop, and so my saturation temperature is also going to decrease. But the main effect of the main effect in terms of extracting heat from my steam isn't from cooling the steam, right? It's from that phase transition, right? It's always, if you go think back to your Thermo 1 class and you're trying to calculate, say, the amount of heat added to or removed from a system, and there's a phase transition involved in there, right? Typically, the amount of heat of just heating or cooling a liquid or vapor is small as compared to that enthalpy of vaporization, right? That large change in energy imposed via a phase transition. And so that's exactly what I have going on here. Is benzene it's just a liquid that's being heated, right? It's not becoming a vapor. And so, the main effect in terms of heat generation is coming from condensing some of that liquid, or some of that steam. So some of the steam is being condensed, and some extracting a large amount of heat from it via that phase transition, which is enough to heat my benzene. Okay, cool. So that's the first part. Okay, and then the second part, right? And so, uh, yeah, and so if the inlet flow rate of steam were to increase in exit temperature, right? Again, the big thing is, right, that main effect of heat transfer is coming by condensing steam. Okay, so if I were to increase the flow rate of steam, so if I were to make that 200, okay, and then I run it, okay, coming out here in stream 4, right, it's still the same scenario. I'm condensing some of the steam. Okay, the temperature changes very little, right? And the temperature is exactly the same as when I had 100 kilomoles, right? It's still the same because I'm still a saturated system, right? I have a two-phase system of liquid and vapor of my steam. And so it's just I'm condensing less of it. Okay, so I'm condensing less of that stream in order to impose the heat transfer. Okay, but the temperature of that steam is still exactly the same. Okay, and if I were to go on the opposite side and make it 50, okay, what I find is I'm just condensing more of the steam. Right, exit temperature of that two-phase mixture is still exactly the same. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm going to keep that 100. Then it also played around with what happened if I increased, well, so if I were to increase the flow rate of benzene, I would just end up condensing more steam as well. Why doesn't the temperature of the exit steam change? Well, because it's a two-phase mixture.